Hey there, everybody. It's Kate Beaters, your breakthrough success expert. I have a really cool training for you. So grab your pen and paper, take some notes because you are going to enjoy this. And if you're listening or when you're listening, say hi, let me know who's there, where you're from, and all that good stuff. So this training is for you if you have ever wondered why your success is taking too long, right? So I want to talk about that today because I know that's a big question for a lot of people and just worried like, hey, maybe it's not even going to happen. And so if that's the case, stay tuned because that's what I have for you. And I just want to make sure the sound is working okay. For some reason, I just got some weird little thing popping up. So I just want to make sure that all is good. Okay, there we go. All righty. So something happened to me today, and it's actually I'm celebrating because if you have been following me on Facebook, oh, thank you for the likes. You'll know that I have been wearing a boot for like the last 2 months, these lovely honking boots because I broke a toe and I injured another toe, and my that area was so swollen I just could not fit into a shoe. So anyways, they gave me a boot. They offered me like crutches and a cane. I'm like, no, please no. Boot is good because I could, it'll help me get around. And so when people first saw the boot, they started saying to me like, you broke your toe and they gave you a boot? Well, I broke my toe and I didn't get a boot. I mean, I would hear stuff like that like all the time from people. And I would say back to them, my sense of humor, well, maybe I had a better doctor, but they were kind of like, telling me what I should have had. And then about a month after I injured my foot, I was at the theater and some big honking guy, like 6'2", weighed God knows what, stepped on my foot, crushed my toes, re-injured the area. And so I'm in the boot longer. And so what happens is people would see me, coming with the boot, and they'd say things like, I can't believe you're still in that boot. How long has it been? You're still in that boot? Are you still, should you still be in that boot? I can't believe you're still in the boot. And they would say stuff to me like that over and over again, like, you sure it's healing okay? And just start putting a lot of self-doubt into my foot, how it was healing, maybe something was wrong. I even saw an acupuncturist and she said, oh, your toe looks very chubby because it was swollen, So when I looked online, and I Googled broken toe, it said like, you might need surgery, all these things start playing over and over again in your head. You hear this stuff. And that's because I'm not a medical expert, right? I'm not a bone specialist. And so when something happens and I don't know that much about it, and this happens to me, it happens to all of us, that our heads kind of go into that place of like fear and doubt and scared and all sorts of things. And so I made an appointment to see an orthopedic specialist, and I saw him today. And he looked at my x-ray and he looked at the foot and the toes, and he's like, you're healing fine. He goes, keep doing what you're doing. He goes, I'm just going to take you out of the boot now, and I'm going to give you something different, for the next stage of healing. He said, but he goes, everything's fine. The bones are healing as they should be. And when he said that, it's just like this huge weight had just been taken off my shoulder, like, phew, because this guy knows what he's talking about and everything is good. And the reason I'm just sharing the story, and so I can celebrate, he said, just ease my way out of the boot so I can celebrate that soon this boot will be no more. Yay. So what I want to share with you is that I run into a lot of corporate professionals, a lot of entrepreneurs, small business owners who start getting very fearful because they feel that they should be further along in their success or their goal or whatever the heck it is, because mostly what they're hearing from other people, like people saying the same thing, like, I can't believe you're still working on it, or shouldn't you have gotten that by now, or shouldn't it have happened for you by now, or maybe it's not going to happen. And then all of a sudden their voices, they start hearing that inner critic start telling them the exact same thing, and they start feeling like it's never going to happen. So that's why I want to do this quick training with you, because when you listen to the roaring crowd out there, it's really easy to get discouraged, to feel like you're not on track, and to feel like it's not going to happen. And I want to share with you that it absolutely can happen. And you probably are on track. Maybe you need some things tweaked, but you're probably doing what you should be doing, and to kind of ignore the rest of the stuff. So here are my three strategies for you, and they're really important because the thing to understand is that you can't, if you're not coming from a place of power, you can't take powerful action, you can't make powerful decisions. Okay, so these three things will help you go back into your place of power. The first is learn to trust your intuition more, okay? Because usually your intuition is right. So when you start to hear it and listen to it and understand it, that's usually going to take you on the correct path. The second thing is to kind of forget about timelines. In a lot of cases, they're wrong, and they end up working against you instead of with you. This doctor said to me, look, you might have a swollen toe for another 2 months. He said, it's just because you figure you're on your foot all the time, right? Unless I want to have bed rest and hire someone to kind of feed me grapes all day long, I'm on my feet all the time. And, and it's just going to it just takes a while, and it is what it is. It doesn't mean that it's not doing exactly what it should be doing. So the same thing with your business or your career is that if you feel like, oh, I should have done it by now, and because it hasn't happened by now, and everyone's telling me it should happen by now, that something is wrong and I'm doing the wrong thing, that's going to set you backwards. Okay. So as I'm saying, kind of push some of these timelines away. And the last thing I want to suggest to you is, just like I went and made a doctor's appointment with an expert, is to speak to an expert, hire an expert. That's why I work with coaches. That's why people work with me, because for example, this orthopedic doctor, he's probably seen a zillion bones, right? And he's seen probably tons of cases like mine. And hearing, and when I told him what happened, and he sees it there, and he can evaluate and tell me exactly what to do, just like what an expert can tell you by hearing what you've been doing, where you are now, where you want to go, exactly what you need to do. Don't be Googling stuff all the time. Oh my goodness, when I Googled this thing, like why is my I forgot what the words were, saying about like slow healing toe or something, so slow healing broken toe, because that's how everyone made me feel, like it was abnormal, that it just made me really like put a lot of fear in, because it talked a lot about, in some cases you need surgery, and I'm like, well, maybe I'm one of those cases and I can't have surgery because I have a 4-legged child I need to walk. I think you guys see her? Oops, there she is. She's sleeping right there. It's like, I can't have surgery. I can't, but it puts that fear and doubt. And so the same thing, that if you start Googling things, often, I'm not saying everything on Google is bad, but I'm just saying, without the right parameters around it, it's really easy to take it the wrong way. So that's why people come to work with me, and they say very often, like, everyone's telling me I should have done this, or I should be better further along, or this or that or whatever. And they start doubting themselves. Again, like I said earlier, you can't make powerful decisions, and you can't take powerful action if you're not coming from a place of power. So my goal is get everyone back in that place of power, so then they can take the action that they need to take and move forward. All right. So those are the 3 strategies to help you, because we all, at certain times in our work, our career, at home life, whatever, start to doubt that we're on the right path. So I want to just remind you, pull those 3 in. And if I can help you, I would love to. Let's make your journey easier, better, faster, more fun, more safer, more powerful. Contact my team, info@katebeaters.com. Let's see whether it's private coaching you need, or come to one of my events, whatever the heck it is. Maybe it's just to read my book. Doesn't matter, but let's help you make this a much more delightful journey. So please share this training. Let's start to push away some of that self-doubt. That's one of my goals here, is really to open up the doors of possibilities of what you can achieve. So let's start pushing that stuff away, put those 3 actions into place. I look forward to hearing from you. And until we meet again, be brilliant.